Hi, friends. Good to be with you again on this thundery, lightningy Saturday in Seattle. We are going to get started here in just a moment, but of course, there's always some folks that tune in at the last second, so we're going to give them a chance to join us. In the meantime, check it out. We're making a little bit of a dance space in our house here, so I'm test driving the new room. One thing we do know.
Friends.
Oh,
Good to be.
One thing we do know is that the lighting situation is a little bit rough. That's still to be improved on, but we will be upgrading that as we go. So today, I'm sorry if I get a little bit ghoulish with the above lights coming down on me. You can just pretend I've been dancing all night and I have giant bags under my eyes because of that. Cool. Gonna get tuned in over here so I can see your comments and things. And we'll get started dancing here in a moment. Today's music is going to be provided by the Shake 'em Up Jazz Band for the warm-up. My friend Chloe Fioranzo is in that and a bunch of other ladies. It's a really badass all-ladies band from New Orleans, and they play at dance festivals and they do all sorts of different things. Plus, a bunch of them have their own side projects too. So check out their info down there in the doodly-doo, and there's a link to their Shake 'em Up CD that we're going to be playing a song off of. But also just check out all their stuff. They're all doing great things. The trombone player sings and has her own albums as well. And Chloe's in like 20 different projects. If you like postmodern jukebox, you might know Chloe. She's the tiny little clarinet player that plays on a bunch of their things. So check them out. The other song we're going to be using today a bunch is Rose Room by the Jonathan Stout and his Campus 5. Jonathan's probably like the name, the big famous one in modern Lindy Hop music in the US. Because he plays at Camp Hollywood and also at Lindy Focus, which are two of the biggest events. And often at ILHC, he used to play at ULHS, and he's all over the place. So check that out down there in the links. There's two other things in the links down there in the information. One of them is we only have 4 more shirts to sell to reach our goal of 50 for our fundraisers on the Syncopation Foundation t-shirts. So if you have not grabbed yours yet, do that. We're going to close the sales in less than a week and get that out to everybody because you have to do it all at once. So you have a few more days left to grab a t-shirt. And the last thing is we're going to be adding a bunch of new online classes and things and then sort of building out our programming so that we can continue to sort of do a hybrid launch as we go back from full-on quarantine mode into eventually being able to dance together again. We want to have a really strong online presence so those that are not safe or comfortable to come out still get a chance to be a part of things. And for right now, when none of us can go out, we all get to be a part of things. And then we'll slowly transition to a point where we're doing some things in person, some things online. Some of the in-person things will be streamed online, so if you're not even in the same time zone, you can get that. But we have a survey on there. It's 10 questions, shouldn't take you very long. And I would love to know what you wish we did. And some of that's classes, some of it's some live music things, some of it's some interview things. And if you have other ideas for what we could be creating, I like doing this stuff. So hit me up and I'll see what I can produce. But for now, we're going to do another Follow the Leader warm-up. So I'm going to get up and dance a little bit to some music by the Shake 'em Up Jazz Band, and you're going to do your best impersonation at home. If you don't have a lovely clear space, do be careful. Modify things as you need to, not to hit walls or slide around too much. If you have slidey shoes, that's always a good idea, or socks or whatever works best for you. If you don't worry. I'll have modifications for all the things. Reading questions here. If you do want to help out at the Syncopation Foundation, we have a donation link on our website. So you can go to syncopationfoundation.com/donate, and I'll try and put something in the comments there eventually. But for now, syncopationfoundation.org. syncopationfoundation.org/donate has all the info on that. So here is Chloe with the Shake 'em Up Jazz Band playing Savoy Blues. Just do your best impersonation of whatever the heck I do. If you get the wrong arm or leg, we still love you. Just do it enthusiastically. Awesome. Cool. Let me know if the music level is good. Let me know if you can hear me. And and Laura yelled .org at the screen. Good. For the record, that is Syncopation Foundation .org /donate if you wanted to chip in and help us out for this. This class is free, so if you can't afford it right now, I want everyone to have access to dance things. If you do want to chip in, though, it's always appreciated. That money goes to pay me and other teachers that we bring on, and also a lot of our jazz musicians right now are out of work, so we forward a lot of that onto the local Seattle area jazz scene. If you have questions on how all that works, hit me up. I like to geek out about the things we do, so I'm happy to participate in that conversation. For now, today's going to be a little bit different. So if you're used to tuning in on Saturdays and we do the new choreo every week, we're going to resume that again next week, but I had a few different requests to go through and break down some basic solo jazz vocabulary and give some tips on how to improvise. So improvisation in this context is going to be, song comes on, you want to just jam to it, and you'd like it to have some semblance of like dancerness to it and not just be the Ferris Bueller in the kitchen jamming around thing. I'm going to say first off, the Ferris Bueller jamming around in the kitchen thing where you just sort of go nuts, awesome. I support that so much. If you want to up your game a little bit and clean up the moves and clean up the structure some, that's what we're here for too. But don't lose that feeling of like, yeah, jazz. That's kind of a key element of it. So if you lose that feeling, we want to step back a little bit and be like, where can I just shake my butt? And then from there, we can clean things up again. But to start off with, I'm going to give us just kind of a drinking from the fire hose style, a few different jazz moves that we're going to use, and then we're going to combine later into a combo. And we'll talk about how that fits the music and how to improvise with those pieces after that. So to start off with, just find some space. I'm going to shoot a bunch of moves at you. If you have questions about them, throw them in the comments, and I'll come back and clean up the ones that there are questions about. So starting off with, we're going to review real quick what we did last week, because that's already on your brains. So we did Suzie Q's last week. That's going to be, if I'm starting with my right foot going over, I'm going to put my right foot in front and my left foot behind. And I'm going to, let me know how that looks too. I know that there's some weird shadows and things. If you can't see something, I can try moving around. So I'm going to be on the heel of my right foot, and I'm on the ball of my left foot. And my right foot steps a little bit toward my left, so I kind of cross over just slightly, and then my left foot steps out to the side, my right foot steps over, and my left foot steps out to the side. So the important part there is that my front foot is stepping in front of my back foot. So I go across, open, across, open, across, open. And when we're jazz dancing, 9 times out of 8, the open leg will be on the even numbers, and the crossing leg will be on the odd numbers. So this might look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to open up my leading knee. So I'm going toward the left side. I'm going to open my left knee on those even numbers. So I can go 1, 2. On those odd numbers, I'm going to close that off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I do that facing you. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, we're on Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Syncopation Foundation. Laura, I get that a lot. I don't look ideal, but I look fine. So we're going to try the other side. We're going to put that left foot in front, the right foot behind, cross over with the left on 1, open up on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our transition between those is going to be a kick on count 8. So we're going to actually start off that way just to get us off on the left foot. So I'm going to clap my hands and kick my right leg on count 8. So I'll go over the top, 8, 1. And then I come down onto that right foot in front on count 1. So we go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to kick my left foot and clap on count 8. 8, I go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's our basic Suzie Qs we're going to be playing with today. If you have questions on that, type them up and I'll come back and check on you in a moment. The other move we're going to start with right now is a skip up. And a lot of us know this from partner dancing. It's in the California routine. It closes out that phrase or opens up a phrase. And in the partner dancing part, I'd have my follower here and I'd go rock, step, kick, kick, big kick. The way that we're going to do this in solo jazz for now is going to be a little bit skippier. So this one's sort of like, I'm coming at you. Like it's aggressive. We're going to go, this is a version that I picked up from Chester Whitmore, who teaches at Camp Jitterbug every year and other places. And he is very adamant that it's not a kick up, it's a skip up. So when you're skipping up a Chester style, you're going to have this a little bit of a lift to it. It's a very 20s feel to me. It doesn't feel very much like Count Basie Lindy Hop. It feels more like da 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 da. You get that sort of extra vintage flavor to it. But just try skipping around whatever space you've got right now. Up, 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 up. If you ever went to ska concerts, you've been practicing this forever. We're going to have that skip, 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 skip. And keep it kind of light right now because we're going to contrast that with other moves here in a moment. So we've got our Suzie Qs, we've got our skip ups. We're going to do some fast kicks. So you see this a lot in collegiate shag. It also comes up in a couple of classic solo jazz routines like the Big Apple, where you're just kind of falling, but your feet are staying out in front of you. So the way I'm doing that, I'm trying to put my foot that was free, it was kicking, straight underneath my weight. And then I'm going to switch those. So I'm kind of like bicycling backward. And it feels like that moment in the cartoon where you're on a log and it's spinning underneath you and you're trying not to fall over, but it's about to fall over. So you're going, whoa. I don't actually want to lose my balance. So depending upon your core strength and your practice with this kind of movement, you can go different levels of intensity on how much back you want to go. I can do my kicks anywhere and have that same energy going forward. So if you have a mirror or if you can see yourself in your camera, check out what you like for the feeling of it right now and stick with that. Don't worry about matching exactly the angle of my body. What I want to make sure is that I'm stepping underneath my center every step, no matter what style of it I'm doing. Yes, awesome. It looks like a light bulb came on. Cool. So far we have Suzie Q's. We have that light skip up. And then we have some fast kicks. We're going to take a little piece from Big Apple right now and squish that skip up and the kicks together, just because it's nice to have some classic choreo. This is a piece that was put together in sequence by a guy named Frankie Manning. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He just had a birthday recently. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, other than strongly in spirit. But he's kind of why we have a modern Lindy Hop scene. This guy went around and taught everywhere. So if you don't know who Frankie Manning is, you have homework. Go look it up. A great place to see him is if you look up Keep Punchin' Big Apple Contest on YouTube. That's where this move is stolen directly from. So we're going to do a rock step on your left foot. So we're going back and forward, left, right. Now we're going to do that skip up a couple times. So we've got rock, step, kick, kick. And we're just kind of making that light. So this is going to feel very much, if you've done the one in Lindy Hop before, it's going to feel very similar to the leader side of that. We're starting on the left foot. So you got... And we're only going to do 2 of those normal kicks, and then we're going to get into the fast ones. So we've gone rock, step, kick, and kick, 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 kick. So rock, step, kick, and kick, 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 kick. So you could think of that in a couple different ways. One of them would be to think, okay, it's 2 slow kicks and 3 fast kicks. Rock, step, slow, slow, fast, fast, fast. Another way to think about the same thing that's equally accurate, so whatever works for your brain, would be to go rock, step, slow, and get a little bit of extra speed in there. So however you want to divide those up, but for me, the song in my head is rock, step, kick, 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 kick. Let's do that one more time. I recommend making your own little song in your head for that. So I say rock, step, kick, 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 kick. That works for me. If you want to go ha, shoot, shoot, wow, 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 whatever that song is for you, I recommend actually vocalizing it. Let your roommates know you're crazy. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. And because it's cool, let's finish off this little section because Frankie did a great job with this. After you've done your 3 kicks, we're just going to cross that left foot over in front. So we've got rock, step, kick, 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 cross. 5, 6, rock, step, kick, 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 cross. So my weight's fully on my left foot. And if I was kicking toward the camera, now I'm facing that way. So I've turned a quarter turn to my right. If I'm facing away, if you're matching me, that would mean that I would be facing that way now. And I'm going to kind of go electric guitar style with my hand here because that helps me balance during this. Feel free to, again, use your own reflection. Go look up the Keep Punchin' video and find out what they do for stylings on these and the specifics of their movements because I promise the original crew is better than me. But we're going to go rock, step, kick, 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 cross. And I'm going to sweep my right arm and right leg, so from that cross. And I'm going to use that, the momentum of my leg coming up and my arm coming up to pull my body back into a slide. So the whole thing looks like this. 5, 6, 7, and the rock, step, kick, 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 cross, and down. In Big Apple, it starts on count 7, so why the heck not? We'll just start on count 7 as well. So I'll count us off 5, 6, a 5, 6, rock, step, kick. And we'll go right into that on count 7. 5, 6, a 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So that's the skip up in Big Apple. It's obviously different than the skip up in California routine because it does a bunch of crazy stuff. But it's kind of based on that same skip, skip, skip. If you don't remember that, you'll get it in the next Big Apple class you take. Maybe if you're interested, we'll put up a choreography review of the whole routine and you can just get the whole thing down. But let me know if you have questions on that. So far you should be feeling like, all right, as long as we go over it again real quick, I can do Suzie Qs. I can do a skip up by itself. I can do fast kicks, and I can do this Big Apple combo, rock, step, kick, 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 cross, up, down. Good so far? Brilliant. I'll check back in on the questions in a second, so this is a great time if you have them. Go ahead and write them in the comments, and we'll check in and make sure everything gets answered. We're going to go over a couple more basic bits of vocab here. Then I'm going to change gears and talk about what makes a move good and what makes improv work, because I want to make sure we have time to get into that stuff. And then if we have time at the end, I will also try and cram in any more moves that you have requests for. So if you're thinking, I wish you would just teach us that one, fire those into the comments soon, and I'll try and budget time for those at the end. If you don't put something in there now and you put it at the very end, we may or may not have time. So that's my disclaimer. But to start off with, we just did the Big Apple section. It's very kicky. It's very aggressive, kind of. It's got that fast feet feeling. So we're going to slow it down a little bit and give us something a little bit more chill. So we're going to do a kind of lowdown. That's a triple step. So we're going to step with your right foot behind your left. Your left foot's going to go out. You're not going to be able to put all your weight on it because it's actually pretty far out there. So if you pick up your foot, you might be able to stand there for a second, but you can't get all the way onto it because you're at an angle. So we've gone triple step. And I'm stepping in the middle with that right foot. The key thing here that people tend to forget in my experience is that they forget to step with that third foot. Third step, second foot. You only have 2 feet. So if I go triple, and I don't pick up this foot, it can get kind of confusing for my brain knowing where to go next. So really make sure you have that clear da, ki, da sound on your triple step. So we'll go 5, 6, 7, 8. Triple step. And this one's the lowest of the steps. So I'm furthest down. Because we're trying to make that shape like from the tranky do, where I'm in that low down position. So I'm not just going pas de bourrée, like I'm doing a jazz class or something. I'm going to actually let that drop some. So if I'm facing the camera, it looks like triple step. Right? I'm a little bit active on that one. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to hook my left foot behind. Triple step. So let's try that left side again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Triple step. 5, 6, 7, 8. Triple step. Little weird thing about how I'm naming that. We are going to the right. Triple step. But because I'm changing weight onto my left foot, in my brain that's the left side. When you're taking your notes, you're the only one that has to understand them. So write it whatever way you need to. But for me, that's the left one because that's the left foot. That's not official Lindy Hop jargon. That's just Ben speaks. So do what you will. Let's put those together. We're going to start with the right foot going that way. 5, 6, 7, 8. Triple down, 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 triple down. If you're feeling like, cool, I got that, Ben, what's next? A couple more things to check in on. One of them is like my shirt says, keep bouncing. We want to keep that quarter note pulse all the way through. It's from a really cool dance school in Recco, Italy. I recommend checking them out if you're in the area. But keep that pulse going the whole time. The other thing is I want to kind of go contra body with my upper body on this one. So if I'm going triple step, and my right foot is the one that I'm dropping down onto, I'm turning my sternum here, so it's over my right foot a little bit. So I'm kind of at a 45-degree angle to the camera. If I go here, it gets a little bit stiff. So that's not wrong. That's just a choice that I want to make intentionally if I'm styling that way. If you watch the Tranky Doo footage from the movie Spirit Moves, Pepsi Bethel, who's credited with being one of the choreographers on it, in a lot of sources and not in others, but he's one of the dancers in the clip, is dancing full on like he's just too swole for movement and keeps it really, really stiff. That's totally fine because it's a really strong aesthetic choice. What I want to do for my natural movement, though, is make it more natural. So if I'm just kind of grooving through it, I let my body do that rotation. So let's do both sides a couple more times. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. triple step, 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 triple step. Cool. All right, checking in on your comments. Awesome. Awesome, cool. Looks like you're thriving. I love it. So let's take a moment and talk dance theory. And this is going to be my take on this. This is just the way that I've experienced dance movement. As someone who didn't come up training classically, I came into dance and attacked like 10 different dance styles at once until I found Lindy Hop and was like, I'm home. But then again, I learned from traveling, I learned from talking to old timers that made up the stuff, but didn't necessarily have like a strong like pedagogy. They were just making it up as they went back in the day, and now they know how they do it. So this is my theory on dance. If you disagree, I would love to hear about it. Tell me why I'm wrong. It makes for a good conversation. But the simplest way that I like to break down dance shapes for people who have only partner danced is that normally we hide behind our partner, and the dancing is just a conversation between us as people on a dance floor. And that's beautiful. I love that. You can just show up with some random person. Both of you took the beginning lesson, and you can kind of shake your butts a little bit differently than the other people in the room, and you're like, we dancing. And you're not wrong. It's totally cool. But as I'm trying to hone my dance, and I'm trying to make it a little bit sharper or a little bit softer, and I'm trying to actually get some control over what I'm doing, I break it down first into two categories. There's the rhythm of the step, right? So in that last step, we have triple step, triple step. But it's not all of it, right? Because it's not just a triple step. We're also making a shape. So we have the shape plus the rhythm is kind of what our dance building blocks are. From there, of course, there's a lot more, right? You can get into dynamics, you can get into flow, you can get into levels. There's all sorts of stuff you can get into from that point. And we're not even talking about what order we put the moves in. We're just talking about a basic dance shape is going to have your shape plus your rhythm. So that lowdown one I like as an example because it does have the triple step that we've known since day one of our first beginner lesson. But it's in this lowdown shape, right? So what we want to work on as we're honing our dance is to go one thing and then the other. So the first thing you're going to want to do as we leave this video together and we go off into the future after 1 o'clock Pacific time, I don't know where y'all are, is listen to your steps. It should sound like triple step, di-ki-da, and it's got that sort of wah-ba-da. It's a little slow, quick. And it sort of has this falling off feeling, just like the hi-hat in a lot of Chick Webb songs where it's like especially the later stuff where they mic'd the drums too much, you can really hear an obnoxious amount of that rhythm often on the ride cymbal, where it's da-da-da, and that's the minimum we want to be swinging that. What I don't want to do is end up accidentally going da-da-da, da-da-da, and making those even, unless it's an intentional choice rhythmically. But as our default, I want to make sure that I'm swinging, and that's what that is. That's what defines our dance. So triple step, triple steps. The first thing is the rhythm. You always want to go back to that rhythmic root. And the next thing is you can go with the shape. And I recommend finding that shape on your own. So find your mirror, find your camera, however you want to do, and find a version of this shape that you don't hate. Find something that's like, okay, that one will do for now. And then what I want you to do is stand up, shake it off, close your eyes, drop back into the shape, and then open your eyes and look at your camera or your mirror and see if you can recreate it without actually seeing yourself in the process of getting there. And this is training what we call proprioception. So it's the idea that you know what your body's doing even when you can't see. It's the thing that lets you grab something off the counter over here that you've grabbed a million times without looking at it. So we want to train that with our body so we know what shapes we're making even if we're out there on the floor and there are no mirrors. So we want to train the rhythm and the shape separately and then put them together and be like, cool. Can I do this away from the mirror and be like, cool. Di-ki-da, 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 di-ki-da. And then kind of keep that shape as I come back around and see myself. So that's something I'm going to leave to you for homework. You can go through all these shapes and do that same thing. You do that with the Suzie Qs and how you want your knees to open and close. You can do that with the kicks where you're doing fast kicks and see, am I laying back the amount I think I am? And kind of check in on yourself that way. And then also listen to your feet. And if that's hard to do all at once, record yourself, either video or even just audio, and listen to the sound of your feet on the floor and find out if the rhythm is what you think it is. Because often we're like, it's close. Another easy way to fix that is sing the rhythm that's in your head and see if your feet match it. Because a lot of time we're like, I got it, yeah. But as soon as you say it out loud, it'll be like a spell check on that, so you can clean that up. So what we're going to do together now is change gears one more time. What I want you to do, though, is take that and actually use it. So after this class, go and take at least one of these steps and immediately go, cool. I'm going to find out what shape I like to have on this and if my rhythm is accurate. Just for one of them, and you can make the rest for your homework for the week or whatever. But for now, I want to talk about improvisation because I had 3 clear requests for that this week, and I want to make sure we get to it. So what we're going to be doing is putting out a song. We're going to use Rose Room by Jonathan Stout, which is actually just a re-recording of the Benny Goodman sextet version, which is why I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful version of the song. And what we're going to be doing is taking one of the steps and playing with it for a little bit longer than most folks are comfortable with at first. So we're going to choose Suzie Q's first, since that's the first step we did. And we're going to take this song, we're going to put it on, and we're going to do Suzie Q's. And I'm going to give you a couple of cheats to start with that are totally legit to use forever. One of them is, most of us already know, dance kind of comes in 8-count sections when you're doing it to this kind of music. So if you do 8 counts one way, and 8 counts the other way, and 8 counts one way, and 8 counts the other way, you're always going to be on with the music. With a few exceptions, but you're always going to be on with the music. So we're going to start off with just that little cheat. The secret sauce is that you can also use any division of that. So 4 beats or 2 beats or 0 beats are all great versions of how long to go on that and still be on with the music all the time. So that's it for now. We're going to try dancing a bit to Rose Room and try doing Suzie Q's and see if you can just kind of find the groove of the song. Don't do more moves. Don't try and be fancy with them. Just be like, can I make this Suzie Q feel like that guitar sound, the chunk, chunk, chunk? Here we go. Cool, pretty simple so far, I think, right? We're just doing what we did before, but with music playing. For me, that's actually a lot of times even easier, having that metronome going on and someone telling me when to do the beat things. What we're going to add on next is we're going to hit the break a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean we're going to do the same step that we were doing before. We're going to do it with the same intensity we were doing it before, with the same arm styling we were doing it before, but we're just going to do it for half as long. So when we get into this one, we're going to go 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And repeat that pattern. So you have 3 8 counts, and then 2 4 counts to finish up the last one, and then just start the whole thing over again. So again, that's going to be 3 8 counts of Suzie Q's going each way, and then we're just going to cut it in half for the last time through. If you've done the shim sham, this is a lot like how the pushes section is structured. Let me check the comments here real quick, and then we'll just do that. Cool. Joy, I'll check in on you for the lowdown in just a second, but for now we're going to go right into this. So, we open up the musics here. And same song, same rhythm, just 3, and then our break is 4 counts on each side. That means the kick, where we restart the Suzie Q direction, will be on 8 the first times, and then 4 on that last one. 5, 6, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So let me know how that went in the comments there. For me, that one feels a little bit like, oh no, it's not loud enough for a break in the music, right? Because what we've been doing in the past weeks, if you've been around, we've been doing choreography that's pretty strongly A, right? It's like 3 things and a break. It feels like you want to do the shim-sham structure to it. This one, it's like an 8/8 phrase, which is why I love this, keeping the same step, keeping the same intensity, but changing how long we do it on each side. For this break, it's a little bit more chill. So there's not a big that thing going on after 3 8 counts on the 4th one. There's a little change, but it's not super dramatic. The last one, though, when we get to the 8th 8, feels a little bit more dramatic. So it feels almost like I should do something more to wrap up the phrase because the band is doing it and we want to match what they're doing. So this is how I will start a lot of the time when I'm improvising to a song. I'll find a move that I can just groove on indefinitely. And I'll just change how long I do it periodically. Sometimes I'll do a slow instead of a quick. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll change things up like that. But I'm going to keep it kind of the same level for a while and slowly build my intensity. This is great, A, because that's how the songs are structured in swing. We just get to do that because we match the music and that's what they do. And it builds to this really beautiful climax. And if you're a Count Basie dancer, like, you even get to have a denouement because all of his songs come down at the end and kind of finish out softly. When he has time, sometimes he cuts it short because they're on a record that only has 3 minutes. But when we're doing this, it also helps me out because I don't have to worry about the brain fart, right? I've got 30 seconds of the song where I'm doing the same move. And it's not just because it's a crutch, it's also the right thing to do. So we're going to use that one more time. When we get to that last 8 count, so we've done 3 8s of Suzie Qs, 1 8 of faster Suzie Qs, 3 8s of Suzie Qs, and then we have 1 8 to do whatever the heck you want. And I'm going to give you a couple options in case you're like, brain farting, I just need something. One of them is exactly what we did before. So you can still go 4 counts and 4 counts. One of them is going to be to freeze. Always okay. Just look cool while doing it. Give like Blue Steel or something. Another one is going to be to do any of the other steps that you know. The lowdown step that we've done already, the triple step lowdowns, works great there. So you can either freeze or low down, or you can just do the same thing, or move as the spirit moves you. If you're like, oh man, I got to do this thing, that's the right thing to do at that moment. Just own the crap out of it. After that break, we're going to go right back into Suzie Q's as though nothing ever happened. So that's our moment of like, no, that's good. It's good. The song is still chill. So we've got 3 8s and the soft break where we just pick up the Suzie Q tempo a little bit. And then we got 3 8s and the break. And then we have 3 8s and the soft break. And we're going to do the same thing twice through all the way. Here we go. Awesome. Hey, I like the feedback. I'm glad it's working for you. Cool. Here is the song. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Eight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're back. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And the cool thing about breaks is they're supposed to be the weird part. So there's not really a wrong answer, right? So whatever you came up with, I'm sin boldly and I will love it. It's going to be awesome. I know from the inside, because I tally the scores on a lot of contests for people, one of the top judges for solo jazz dance in the world will show up to a scene and the prelims will just be like, who is dancing with the same phrasing of the song that's playing? And that's who gets a chance at finals. From there, he'll rate them based on like what cool moves they're doing and things like that. But the first thing in his mind is, I wonder who's dancing to the music today. So step one for me on improv, for myself and also for my audience, is to give that calm, we good, we're going to be okay on a move. as you're just like, cool, I've got that, I've got the flow now. Once that's logged, maybe it's not yet after 10 minutes of working on it, but once you've done it a few times in your living room, and you want to add it a little bit more, take a different basic step for the next phrase. So, for example, if you did Suzie Q's there, you could do fall off the logs the next time, or the shim sham step for the next one, or tachyanies for the next one, or one of those steps that you're like, I got this one so much that I could talk to my mom on the phone and make a sandwich at the same time while I'm doing it. And you'll find those are the easiest steps, I think, to modify the feeling of. If it's a really complicated, twisty, kicky, shuffle ball change, whatever, it's hard sometimes to go, I'm going to get behind that, look at what the song's doing, and actually match it. But if it's a song, something like a tachyani, where we're just going, I could be like, yeah, Rose Room, I got that groove. Or I could be like, oh, it's got like 20s Charleston, New Orleans-y feel. We're going to jump on that instead and make it sharper or softer. So the simpler the step, the better the step for the bread and butter version of the dance, right? You've got this whole section of the dance that you don't necessarily need to be doing crazy stuff to. You'll find that eventually you're like, I don't want to be restricted to that step anymore, which is a great place to be, because normally I think when we go into improvisation, we're like, holy cats, it's a whole world of possibilities. I can't even think. It's like writer's block for dancers, right? You get in there and you're like, I don't even know where to start. So what you want to do is get to the point where you go, I wish I could say more. I have more to say, but I'm not letting myself do it because I'm putting myself in this box. And then the thing that you do choose to let yourself say, the move you choose to let yourself do in the middle will match the music a lot more. And it may not even be a move you learn in a class. It might just be like, I really need this right now. Great. Because you came from a place where you were really in tune with the music. And you're like, I sense the clarinet is about to do a doodly-doo. I'm going to do a doodly-doo. And then it matches. So let me know if that doesn't make sense. I'll keep checking it over here on the side. But we're gonna add on a little bit more to this concept. So we've got so far our 3 and a break feeling, and we've cut the Suzie Q's in half for that. A lot of times, that's a pretty clear sign that you're a beginner, though, right? Because you're doing the shim sham structure on every song that you're dancing to. This time through, we're going to try and not quite fit the song, but totally fit the spirit of the song. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to put a little bit of an anacrusis in our rhythm as we're doing our breaks. Anacrusis is, in music, something that starts before the measure, or before the phrase. So in this song, you can actually hear it. It goes ba 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 ba. That ba 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 that's before count 1 is called an anacrusis. We can do that in dancing, and the Big Apple step that we learned earlier actually does that. It starts on count 7, even though the skip up starts going forward on count 1. So let me show you that step again one more time, just so that makes sense now in context. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Right, so it starts just a little bit before that count 1. And this can be a really great way to kind of put a smooth transition between your chunks. So instead of going, I'm doing Suzie Q's, and this time when I shoved that low down kind of awkwardly into it on the break, I had to hold for a step and then slide my foot behind to make it work. So what I could do instead is transition with that extra rock step a little bit early. So that would look something more like this. I have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And because I have that something to do in that space right beforehand that leads me from one feeling into the other feeling, it connects a little bit nicer for my audience, and it flows a little bit more with what the song does, because you'll very rarely hear the musicians put things in really tight boxes. Unless you're at an amateur jam or something, in which case, more power to them. They're in the same place with their music we are with their dancing. But this time, I'm going to challenge you to think about that break coming a little bit earlier. If you're doing the soft break, which was where we had the Suzie Q, double up, don't even worry about it. It's the same step. It's the same transition. If you want to do something to smooth that through, great. But for me, it's more that second break on the way through where I want to start a little bit early. So maybe on that last one, I'm going 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Because I know I'm going into a triple step rhythm, and I've got those 2 parts. I've got a shape, and I've got a rhythm. So maybe I'm not ready to go into the shape until it's time for that last 8 count, but I can start the rhythm just a little bit earlier. So think for a second, find yourself a move that you know, and think about how you would make that transition kind of phase in a little bit early. And let's see if we can put that to music. Jonathan's going to give us a couple 8 counts here of count-in, so you have time to think. And Jamie, no one can Suzie Q left. It's totally a thing. It's not just you. Everyone's great with the right foot going over the left side. Until you practice it, it's really hard, apparently. But it's not you, it's everyone. All right, here we go. A 1, a 2, and you know what to do. All right, how'd it go? Everyone still surviving out there? If you have questions about it, let me know. I will tell you, though, something like this where it's really structured, take the same song even like we're doing right now. Again, shameless plug to support our musician friends. If you want this one, it's down in the links below. You can go to Bandcamp and buy it. If you are buying jazz music from current musicians, and check Bandcamp first because they get a better cut from there than they do from anywhere else. And support our folks as much as we can so we can keep them making more music for us full time. But if you're doing this and you're like, cool, I kind of got it, but I want to push myself harder, do that. Go learn more things, go learn classic routines, noodle around, but do come back to this. I'm going to encourage you to come back to this exercise with different steps maybe, but go for a while on one combo and be like, cool, I want to go, what step does Rose Room feel like? For me, that was Suzie Q's. For me, on a lot of songs, it's Applejacks. I love Applejacks just because that's what my body falls into when I'm like, I need a treading water step. But find maybe 2 or 3 steps where you're like, okay, those are safe ones for me. If the song feels like something else, I'll do it. But if I don't know what to do, I can start with those. And then kind of grind for experience on this drill. Try and go, okay, cool, we're going to go through this. Maybe we do a soft break, maybe we do a real break every time. But give yourself the chance to be like, cool, I didn't like that transition. I liked everything else, so I'm not going to scrap the whole thing. I'm just going to scrap that transition or modify the transition a little bit. Like, where did I get lost? Maybe I need to put my weight on my right foot a little bit sooner and do the same thing again. What I've experienced with my students a lot is that we get so like, nope, that one wasn't right. Scrap the entire project and start building a new one. And it's really hard without a control group to actually improve your dancing. So now that we're all stuck at home, take that time to really drill this thing and make it work. If you have questions, I am a Lindy Hopper who is in quarantine, and I would love to answer those questions for you. So feel free to shoot me a message on social media or whatever, or Ben at syncopationfoundation.org. Right, Laura? For now, though, we're going to try that one more time with the music. After that, I'm going to jump back into some more vocab because we went through this as fast as I hoped. I was a little worried about it. I'll give you a couple more moves. If you have specific moves or specific questions, I know Joy asked about lowdowns. We'll get back to that and a couple other things. Put those in the comments now. Otherwise, we're going to try that one more time with Jonathan Stout and his Campus 5 here. A 5, a 6, a 5, 6, 7. Awesome. I love it. Cool. So we'll definitely get to Applejacks here in a second. And I want to answer that question for Joy on lowdowns. But the other cool thing about this structure of this exercise is that it is the structure of probably 2/3 of jazz songs out there that you're going to be dancing to. So there's two main structures. One of them is what we're doing now, which has 3 things and a break. One of them will have 6/8 per phrase or per chorus. And that's a blues structure. And that will be also pretty common. A great way to find out what that sounds like is look up Count Basie blues, and he's got like 30 songs that have blues in the name, and you'll find a song that's in that structure. And from there, you kind of get the feel for the sound. You're able to count out those 6/8. But you want to practice a little bit to both and find out where that break lands naturally. So, Joy, to your question about lowdowns, it says your leg that ends up out when you dip down wants to slide further as you dip. I would say it's a problem only if you can't control it. So here's a couple tips on how to control it, and then you can decide if you like the look or not. As I'm going triple step, I can step closer to myself, and that's going to give me more control. I can have stickier shoes. That's going to give me more control. But the one that's going to give me the most flexibility for look and like having it a little more extreme and also not slide out is just going to be lower to the ground with more core engagement. So if I go triple step, I'm only off this foot for just a second. If I try and stick that one out there, if I go triple step and I lift this foot too soon, that can make the foot slide out to the side, which can be a really cool look. So again, if you like it or if you can control it, I would actually say that's bonus points if it's the feeling of the song. But make sure you can do both. So if I wanted to go triple step, triple step, triple step, triple step, I think there's a lot of merit to that, so don't throw it away. But I would say whichever one you don't have yet of those two, learn that one, and then you'll have more tools in your belt. If that didn't answer the question, let me know, Joy. Otherwise, let's break down some Apple Jacks here. Thanks, Laura. There are 4 million versions of Apple Jacks. Again, I've learned this one from a couple of folks that I respect really highly. One of them is Norma Miller, and one of them is Chester Whitmore. But they do them differently from other folks I respect highly. So this isn't by any means the only way to do them. That's my disclaimer. The starter version of this is going to be, if I'm standing with my feet in parallel here, I can pick one foot up, and I can kind of move toward the foot that's on the ground. The way I'm doing that is that my weight's on my heel, and I'm fanning my foot out to the side. Sort of like if I'm at the beach and I want to move all the sand with my pinky finger, I can go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I'm kind of creating a sand angel with my feet, kind of moving all the dirt out to the side. So I'm keeping my weight on the heel and pivoting that foot open. Something that makes it a little easier for me is instead of being quite in parallel, I'll actually do that first step a little bit like I have to go to the bathroom, and I'll point my toe of my right foot to my left side. So with my right foot over here, I'm going to point it a little bit that way, and then slide that foot open this way. The muscles I'm using to do that are in here. They're not down here. So I'm not trying to use my ankle muscles to sweep that up. I'm trying to bring my whole butt around. So you can imagine that you're trying to get like a wave down the back of your skirt if that's what you're wearing. And I won't get that if I'm only moving my feet. I want to get the whole hip movement in there while I do it. That's not just aesthetic, that's because it will protect my knees. So the more you can make your hips be what's powering this, the better it's going to be for your joints. So I highly recommend that. What I don't want to do is pick up my toes, so I'm not fanning up like this. I'm keeping the toe on the ground and really sliding that dirt out. And the way this usually starts is with a kickball change. So if we kick our right foot diagonally across us and sweep it around, ball change, that prepares our left foot pointed to the right for the first Applejack. So I'll go 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 7 is on my left foot. I can kick my right foot again on 8. 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 8. Couple tips for that solved a lot of problems for me. One of them is the same thing we said before on the other moves. if you listen to swing music, you're going to hear do, 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 do. You'll hear it from the guitar. You'll hear it from the bass. You'll hear it from the kick drum. But that quarter note beat is really important in jazz. And we're going to keep that with our butts getting closer to the ground. So I want to think about that crease at the bottom of your butt cheek, getting closer to the floor, right where your heel is. Every beat, down, 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 down. And the cool thing about that is, A, it looks more like Apple Jacks. But B, there's this springy feeling where you're heavy at the bottom and light at the top. And it's cool because the point where you're pivoting, where you need that friction to be as little as possible, happens at the top of your bounce. So if you have that bounce going all the time, you can do Apple Jacks and rubber shoes on a gravel surface. It doesn't matter. Like, it just works everywhere because you get really light at the right moments. So I can bounce, 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 bounce. And as you're working toward this, as you're honing it and making it your own, I would recommend trying to find as much of a smooth transition from step to step as possible. So what I don't necessarily want to do, unless the music calls for it, is go boom, 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 boom. I want to have kind of a smooth flow where it continues all the way through. I would say that is secondary, though. The bounce is the most important part. If we had an hour together in a classroom and I was teaching a class on Apple Jacks, we would start the class working on our bounce. And just getting that boom, 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 and walking it, and walking it. And then you can start to roll your feet toe to heel into the floor as you take your steps, like a cat pushing into the laundry. And keep that bounce going. And from there, I can take that step and turn it inward a little bit, right, like we did for Apple Jacks. And I can keep that same thing going. And the only difference from what I was doing here, where I was just walking, and the Apple Jacks, let's see if we can find some feet in the light, is that I turn those hips in and out. My feet are still doing the same thing. My legs are doing the same thing here, where I bounce and I step. I just wag my butt while I do it. Cool. Let me know if you have questions on that one. We're almost out of minutes here, but I'm going to flip through here and see how we do. Yeah, let's say we had a few questions on Apple Jacks, or requests for Apple Jacks. So if you have any questions on that, write it up right now so that I can help you out before we're out of here. I am going to save this video on our YouTube channel. Normally I do that with the choreography ones because I know there are about a half dozen of you that like to polish one up per week, and some of you even send it back to me, which is glorious. If you have missed out on the solo jazz choreographies in the past and you want to join us, I have all those saved on our YouTube channel. So you can still flip through, and it's just a 1 hour class just like this, but I've taught a 1 chorus choreography to a current swing musician's CD. And I would love to have you record those at whatever point. So if you go back and get the first week's now, that was 2 months ago, and you send it to me, I will totally be stoked and it'll make my whole day. Like whatever one of those it is. And if I get critical mass of folks that want me to, I can cut those together and make like a super cut of all the best parts of the best people doing the routine. So if you have a mistake, I'll put someone else's part on that part of the routine, but I can kind of slice it together and make a cool conglomeration video. And I will do that at whatever point you send me the video. So there's no timestamp on that, but one of the great ways to be able to train while you're stuck away from people is to have something that's measurable. And technique sometimes is a little bit amorphous and ambiguous. It's hard to know if you're getting it right. But choreography, you can look at yourself in the camera and be like, that was a different step than what they did. So it's a little easier. They got that control group to it, right? Like we said before. So if you want to do that stuff, let me know, or just jump on it. It's there. Feel free to share this out to the world. We do this for free every week because we want people to have a little bit of dancing in their life. Looks like I don't have any new questions coming in, so I'm going to wrap up here in a second. Quick reminder, if you would like to chip in to tip me for the class or whatever, syncopationfoundation.org/donate is a great link for that. If that's not a good way for you to donate and you want another one, we also have PayPal and Venmo and stuff, so just contact me and I can give you that info. Also, if you look down below, we had, as of the start of the class, 4 shirts left in our lot of 50 we're trying to get printed. And there's a couple days left on that before we send them off to the printers. So if you'd like to get in on the first ever Syncopation Foundation shirt, we will never make another one quite exactly like it. So you can be one of the only 50 people to get one. And thank you so much if you're someone who already jumped on that. A lot of folks even donated more, which I did not even know was an option. So thank you. I'm sort of shocked and stunned and pleased and excited to be able to bring on some folks to the channel that we would not have been able to bring on otherwise. So it's pretty exciting. Also, do support our jazz musicians. If you want a list of jazz CDs that are just, will directly have the money go to the people who played on them, I can get that for you as well, so hit me up. It's posted on our Syncopation Foundation Facebook page a while ago, but if it's just easier for you, message me and I'll send you. Caleb made a whole spreadsheet of current musicians and the links to go buy their CDs if you want to expand your collection. The other thing is, if you are interested in a whole day worth of stuff, I'm going to be doing this class every Saturday. But on June 20th, we would normally be in Montana having Big Sky Weekend, but obviously we can't this year for sad reasons. There's COVID and stuff. So we're going to do an event. It's just going to be an online one, and it's just going to be a one-day thing. We'll start with this class. After that, we're going to have myself, Matthew Bergmanson, and a couple of international DJs get on and DJ a couple-hour-long just Zoom party. We've done a couple of them so far, and it's been a hoot. People bring their pets, and there's the lady danced with a baby chicken one time, and it's great. We'll tell you a little bit about the history of the songs and things in a way that we can't always do in normal dances. But after that, the Decavitas, Charlie and Rebecca are going to be teaching an hour class, and then Peter Flahiff and Lauren Smith will be teaching a class after that, and then we may even have another party after that. We're trying to line things up for that right now. That's June 20th. It costs nothing, so put it on your calendars. Join us for that. Spread the news. And then also, down in the links below, this is the first time we've had this, a survey. And I would love to know what you wish I was teaching. I'm going to be building out our programming a bit because we're here. We've dug out the basement here, so I have a space to dance and film. And I'm willing to do partner classes or choreography classes for partner dancing, choreography for solo technique like this. I can do more advanced stuff, more beginner stuff. We can do interviews with musicians and dancers. We can, whatever you can come up with. So if you have any thoughts on that, I would love to see them in that Google form down below, or just message me privately. And thanks, everybody. We're going to sign off, but it's been lovely dancing with you again, and we'll get you again